Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Wednesday, so we're talking to our money mindset coach, Miss Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. How are you doing, Karen? Hey guys, I want you to sit back and relax. We want to give a shout out to our producer, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva, who is operating all these wonderful things for us in the background, putting
Mhm.
us on multiple platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope. We're excited. And so we want to thank her and make sure she knows that she's appreciated and loved.
Mhm.
I'm Carolina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. And today we're about to get in your money business. Okay? So you might want to get something to drink because you might need a little caffeine before the segment. All
Yeah,
right, so Karen, get us started. What are we talking about today?
and I just had my coffee, so I'm pretty good.
Oh, cool. This is good.
I'm gonna drink some water to keep washing it down. But yes, I'm pumped. I'm pumped because it's January. Last week I brought to you guys a time for everything. And this week we're talking budget. This is part of a time for everything. And why not at the beginning of the year? And here is why. You just finished the year before, and you should have all your receipts and all your things fresh and ready for the tax guy, the tax woman. So why not look after your happiness plan and got that organized so when you hand off to the tax person or however you're doing it, send it off, you've got things, your ducks in a row. This
Mm-hmm.
year, however, I started talking to clients about doing a yearly budget and then moving backwards into the monthly. And this here is rattle some feathers, it makes some people stood up straighter. But then once they was able to digest, they took me up on it, and it's just been fun. It's been a lot of fun. So today we're gonna cover three things: how to achieve the desire, the desire to sit down and create a budget, because it
Mm-hmm.
it is your young self. It's your little no 2 year old, no 5 year old, no, I don't want to do it self that doesn't want you to do it. Okay? Put her to sit in
Mm-hmm.
the corner and get down to it. Now, when you do it, I'm not going to wrap this up for you because you guys know I don't do that. I'm just going to be honest. It's going to be painful. It's going to be hard. You're not going to want to do it. Yes, I understand. This is not me telling you it's going to be easy. No, but it's got to be doable. I'm going to explain why later. Number two, once that is formed, how to keep the momentum going because it has to keep going. And we, as human beings, don't like to keep anything going when we don't see any successes around it, right? So this is why the year comes into play. And then number three, we'll be getting ready for the celebration, of a lifetime. Because when you start seeing that wonderfulness happening, you want to celebrate. But we got to pick how we celebrate so that we don't go
Mm-hmm.
crazy and mess up all the work we have done within this budget. All right. So that's the thing. That's what
Gotcha.
we're looking at. That's what we're doing today. That's what we're talking about. I'm excited. I'm always excited when I talk about budget.
You know,
I get
I
really excited because it's numbers. I'm looking at numbers, right?
I am so happy that you get excited about numbers. I just like, and it could be for multiple number of reasons, but yes, okay. So I'm bracing myself.
This
I'm
is
bracing
Terry's
myself.
favorite
Look,
subject,
I don't
people.
even have a pencil. That's how bad things are. Look, I knew the subject, and now I'm operating with with a sharpie because I didn't even have the courage to bring a pencil. Okay, go ahead.
We're ready, Terry. Are we ready? Do you need a
Yes,
minute? Do you need a minute to get
I like to be authentic with our audience. I'm just okay. This is a sign.
All right. So how to decide how to to achieve the desire to sit down and create a budget. Now this is the little painful part. I want you to think about 2019 and all your shortfalls in terms of the money, not to buy what you wanted to buy, or you did buy it on a credit card, but then you're like pinching yourself and feeling really guilty that you weren't in the place to purchase it, or you purchase it and the work that needed to be put in to see the results you didn't do, and you're feeling guilty. Okay, feel those feelings, But then I want you to put a timeline on it and then park it. You got to park it. You got to park it because this is the month that you want to make the promise to yourself so that when you get to December or November, whichever you're looking at, you can say, with really grace, that I have accomplished. I have done the best of me. My 100% was in it. That doesn't mean at times that it didn't go smoothly. It doesn't mean that everything worked out. It just means that 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 you know you should have put in, you did. Even if it means you need to walk around with this sign. It's on my desk and it's on my night table. I don't know if you guys can see it. Where
No
I
excuses.
feel like it, I simply say, no excuses. Just get up and dance. You can dance for 2 seconds if you want. You can do whatever it makes you feel good. You don't have to worry about the rhythm. You can't say, I can't dance. No, 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 no. This is just so that you move things around with your body and your mind. That's why not only no excuses, but I say, and get up and dance. So if you're sitting down and you're making the excuse, get up and dance. If you're standing and you're making the excuse, move a little bit. If you are
Mm.
doing, if you're in your car, put on music. If you listen to it, you just turn it off, put on music, and do a little jiggy. If you're starting to give yourself the excuses why you couldn't do something. And the truth is, the minute you say you're going to do it, every single thing in your world is going to show up and show you why you can do it. Now, people
Mm.
say, I can't even budget for the month. You want me budget for the whole year? Are you crazy? I don't know what's going on. I'm not budgeting for a whole year. Yes, and I can tell you this because somebody paid me money to help them budget, and then they let me know they're not going to do it for the whole year. They were fighting me for a whole week after they paid me.
Girl,
No, we were just cracking up about it. She's like, I know you got my money, so I'm coming. You know I'm coming back. Allow
wow.
me to fight you. Allow me to just. And I said, well, you know, you're not fighting me. She goes, I know it's myself, but if I name you, it feels better. I'm like, go ahead, name me, fight me. But anywho, so she came back and we are talking about it. We are working on a budget as we speak. And so for the month of January, she had to go find things that she push in a corner, push in a bag, all over here. Now, mind you, most people don't have the whole year receipts, and I get it. But the ones you have, that's the one we work with. We're not making you feel like you have to go dive and find. We say, go find all your receipts that you have and bring it, and we're going to work with that. Why? Because this is allowing you to allowing me to see your pattern, how you shop, how you buy,
Mm.
why you buy. We go into more than just the receipts. We're talking about your behavior. That's what we're really studying. We're studying your behavior to make you understand how you behave so you can behave a little differently the next year. The way that's going to get you to your goals. That's why we're doing it. So we want you to understand why you want to get yourself in that frame of mind, why that desire need to be there. And I go into questions like, do you like to travel? Do you take 1 or 2 vacations a year? If you haven't taken any, would you like to take one? What kind of cost? And they have to go in and check out and see where they'd like to go and how much it will cost to go. Meaning, the airfare, hotel, they have to go find out if they want to do things on the trip, how much it's going to cost them, and how much spending money they need to walk with cash flow for just in case, and if their workplace don't have insurance. A lot of companies in Canada, if you're on, you got extra insurance for your medical, travel insurance is included in that. If it's included, you call them up, you find out. If they say yes, you don't have to worry about that. But if they say no, you want to know how much that costs and you want to add at it. So although it sounds hard, it's just a lot of things we're getting. And halfway through the exercise, most people start getting excited. Because if they never taken a vacation, they're like, I could do this. Yes, you can. Because now you're not afraid of what number it would be. We research and we know the number. And so
Hmm.
now we're talking about all of that. We haven't formed the budget yet. This is just discussion and getting you all pumped up to understand why this is so important. So we're doing all that stuff. Once that's formed, we want to get the momentum going. We want to get you excited. We want to look at all the exciting things you want to do throughout the year, and we want to list them down. Before we get into the boring stuff, the mortgage, the rent, the
Mm.
life, all those other things that is you're fixed. So once we look at the exciting stuff, then we start looking at all the fixed expenses. We look at all your expenses rather, and then we decide what is fixed and what is flexible. And we have to do those two portions because it allows you. The other category we look at is your debt. We got to look at that part because your mind, when you're not talking to me, is going to go back into the currency. We can do all this, but what happened to my debt? Or they call you, what happened to my debt? So we have to have that third portion, which is your debt. And we put everything down. If you owe Auntie Pat $10, we're putting it down. If you owe Uncle Jerry, I don't know, $500, we're putting it down. We're putting down every debt. We're not putting down only the debt that costs interest. We're putting down the debt also if you owe to friends or family, because when you do, you don't go to a function feeling guilty anymore. You don't hide from their phone calls. We want to really clear up how you think and feel about yourself. That's why we're really doing this budget. It's way more than just setting the numbers down. And we're getting all those stuff in motions, and you're all excited and you're getting good. So when we're talking now and we got all the receipts and we sit down for work, we're gonna work through those processes and we're gonna have a lot of fun with them. And we're building out for the whole year because we went through all that stuff, and we're building out, and then we break it down month for month what's going to happen. Now here's the other juicy part. If your monies are coming in doesn't match with your desire and all the things you want to do, we also get to see at that time how much more you need to add to that income for a month, so that you don't think I need a part-time job, I need a part-time job, but you don't understand what you really need. So when you decide, if you, so let's talk about the workers here. If you're going to get a part-time job, the part-time job has to fit in, not with the gross, how much it's going to be net for you. Number one, when you get paid. Number two, how is it going to coincide with your taxes? Because I don't want you to get a part-time job that's going to cost you to pay tax at the end of the year versus help you. So we have to tackle all of that. And we have to see if starting a side hustle is better than the part-time job. We gotta line up both. So some people. So I got different people. So some people, the part-time job makes sense for 6 months while starting the hustle. Some people, the part-time job needs to be there for the full year, and the following year, we're gonna look into the side hustle. It's gonna be on the side still, but we're not really forging it too much for the income. What come is fine because there's things to learn. If you're starting a side hustle and you don't know anything, there's a lot of learning curve gonna happen. So we gotta allow that time.
Well, uh, you were right about the vegetables. We had some people who are in here and they are gone. We had Claudia and Britta and Anna. They'll be back. But yeah, but the thing is, wow, trying to get excited about this. I'm just amazed at how excited you are about this. But you know, the fact that I have renamed this does help me get a little more excited about it. And the fact that I get to plan vacations first, thank you.
Because who want to just do the boring things? Like, you want to know there's a goal. You want to know there's things you're trying to achieve. You're trying to get to. You really want to know those things because, again, when your mom come home, you wanted to see what was in her bag. When you got a kid and they want to know they're going to get something. We are the same kid who's an adult now. So those tendencies still lies within us, and it shows up. And it's
Britta says she's still here. Thank you, Britta.
Hi, Britta. And it performs differently. So it's still showing up. It's still wanting the reward. It's still wanting to know there's something good that's going to come out of it. Each and every one of us. I don't care who you are. I know I'm still excited at the end of the year to see what I bring forth. I'm still excited to see all the goals I've achieved that I've set up for myself. I'm still excited in December to watch where my budget went, what happened, how I performed. When I sit down and I just watch it, some parts I'm like, I can't believe it. Some parts I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that. I go through the whole yes. Everybody's got their thing that they want to achieve or want to do, and so you want to have that built in. And which debt I clear off or which debt I get rid of, because nobody is ultimately debt free. You get big debts off if you had a lot of debts and you're feeling good about yourself, but you got the debts that reoccur, you got the expenses, you got a whole bunch of stuff. So some things that we might been working on for a while, and you see them clear, you're like, woo! Well, if you're like me, you're doing it.
You do. You really do.
Right? You're getting it done, right? Whatever that is. But you're happy jumping up and down. I remember when I paid off my car, I was just hollering like nobody's business, jumping up and down and in and out. because the last payment went in. I was like, girl, girl, that sort of thing. So yeah, everybody's got a thing that you want. So then you have all those things set up and you really celebrate it. You got a momentum going, you know what happened each month. You know that, as I said before, you got a part-time job, it's gonna do X, Y, and Z. Now you gotta stick to it. I become people who use me as a budget strategist, their accountability buddy, where they check in every 90 days to making sure that they stay on track and things are working how they said it's going to work. And if something didn't work, we tweak it and see what needs to happen because they want to stay on task. Anybody who had worked with me, whenever they fall off, they will say, I can't, you know what it is? I didn't want to do it, first of all. And then when I did it, I can see what happened. The minute I slack off, I could see how I get myself back to my old habits, which wasn't serving me. That's the other thing. That isn't serving you. You know how mad you are with yourself in June? That's the middle of the year, right? When you set out to do certain things, you didn't pay certain bills on time, for the working people, because I'm going to get to the business people in a minute. And you didn't do what you say you're going to do, or because you fall in a trap because somebody birthday and you haven't seen them for a long time and you make a whole bunch of money or you get some surprise money. I like to put that in budget too, by the way, surprise money, because money you didn't expect, it coming from somewhere that you weren't planning for. God bless you, and somebody drop you some money and you're like, oh yes, I haven't seen Uncle Jim in a long time, maybe I'll buy him a bike. But that wasn't your budget to buy him a bike, and the bike he likes is one of those bikes with a motor. A lot of people ride them here in Canada in the summer, and the good ones are a couple of grand. And you like buy him the bike, it wasn't set up to buy, and you notice some other things are fluctuating. Let's say your investment, you were going to invest some money to do some things, and investment is not up anymore, it's down. So you're not being able to get the interest you wanted, and now you could have taken that money and do something else, and you didn't think about it because you just went off the rail. Now, when you start setting your budget, you don't go off the rail as much, because when you're in the momentum, everything you go to do, you're checking to see if it's aligned with what you say you're going to do. The promise to yourself is so important. So important. I was telling a friend the other day because she was trying to wake up early in the mornings, and I said to her, I said, my dad, we went out and party. I remember we came in around 3:30 the morning. And he gets up at 4:30 every day. And that man went down in life for probably about an hour. And at 4:30, he was back up doing what he said he's going to do because he didn't want to disappoint himself. Now, during the day, he's going to rest. But the time that he set for himself stays. And that's what you have to do for yourself as a person. You have to say, I'm committed to me to do this. And I am going to do it. There's no other way around it. I'm sorry. There's just no other way around it. If I'm sick, then I want to write. Like, that's why I have my board up behind my wall when my door closed. So I have a place where I can write it in. I was sick, or I had a cold, or I had a flu the last 2 weeks. And I write that in. And even though I work for myself, I write that in so that I could see why later I was off, why I didn't accomplish this. So I don't feel guilty and beat myself up because I know I was sick. So my brain can't keep reminding me, Caren, 2 weeks you didn't do that. I'm like, but I wasn't well. Like I literally said to myself, well, I wasn't well. What do you need? I need to rest. Because our mind will just keep pumping out the negative stuff. We have to discipline it. Yeah. We have to really constantly discipline it that no, this is not so. This is what happened. Like anything else.
Let me show you this comment from Alfredo. It says, still need to work on family budget, but from the looks of it, we're in the black. Hashtag Black Fast Ready. Okay, Freddie. That is too funny.
That's so funny. It is funny. It is funny. I like it. I like it.
I like the fact that you're working on the family budget. Because you said it needs to be flexible.
Yeah.
You have fixed and flexible expenses.
Yes, you have.
Well, the budget should be flexible too for month to month because different things occur during different months. Like Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yes.
Maybe birthdays. Yes. Maybe Black History Month's coming up. You may be spending money on projects for school. There are just different things that we need to be aware of that make the budget go sort of like this. Is
But
that
that's
correct?
why you have a fixed section and a flexible section. The fixed
Ah,
section, you need to keep it fixed because you know that's why you have the year before to know. You really and truly know how much you pay on hydro if you're in a home. You know how much you pay on gas. You have a minimum to a maximum, and you stay within that. Here's the other thing: gas and hydro, it fluctuates each month. What happens, right? Unless you sign up
uh-huh.
for, we have that here where you can sign up for the same amount to come out every month, and then in the summer there's a big number that come out to even things out. Now if you didn't sign up for that, you can have whatever you pay, the least amount and the most amount.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the good news about budget. Here's the other part that sometimes I forget to mention. If at the end of the year that you've been putting this money aside, the fixed, and you've been watching it, you will notice that you'll have a cash flow. You'll have some unexpected monies. In fact, maybe your hydro was 195, and let's say in March it was 165. You see the extra money? Don't touch it, leave it. And same thing with your gas, whatever that is, you leave it. At the end of the year, this is or in the 6 months, there's this nice little monies that's been gathering itself
Mm.
for you.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it, put it there, have it still stay in that fixed section of the budget. That is not for you to take and go have a party, buy ice cream. No, no, no. Leave it there.
No shoes, huh? No extra shoes.
No,
Those running shoes.
yes. Leave it there. Leave it there. If it's a good chunk by the time at the end of the year and this been happening, ask yourself, what can I invest this into? Where can I put this to earn me something more? That's that this small piece of cash flow that's happening. Allow it to
Uh-huh.
happen. Don't go take it out and do anything with it. Put it somewhere that it can earn you some sort of interest. Guarantee it's not going to be big initially, but it's going to get you somewhere. Let's say it ended up being $200 or $300 and you wanted to buy a course to do something to get whatever you want to get better. There's the money right there. You invested it in yourself for something better. You invested it in, excuse me, it's not going to give you the interest right away, but it's going to help
Mm-hmm.
you get to a better place. Now you're not searching and wondering, I wanted to do this, but where I'm going to get money for it. Let's say you wanted to start a business. That's your investment right there. You take it out and you start a business because you had set up your business budget, which we're going to talk about right after this, and
Mm-hmm.
you know what your business budget need. Your business budget, I'm going to dive right into it, is a little different only because most business budget, once when you set it, if you're not in business yet and you're now setting it up, you're setting up a budget for what you researched and know that the business will need. That's what our business budget is for. So you might say, I want to eventually leave MailChimp. I'm going to convert it. So here's the cost per month. Um, I want to
Mm-hmm.
buy lead pages. Here's the cost per month. I want to do whatever it is you want to do. You write everything down. You write how much it costs per month, and you multiply that by 12. So you have enough money for the year. Your job is to have enough money for the year because every year you'll have it in advance. So every month you're not panicking for expense. And that's a small number I'm talking about, not the big stuff. I'm talking about a small number of things. Okay. That's how you set up your business budget. Now, if you're in business already, it's a little different. You might be still needing to set up things you want to add to your business, but you have expenses that you're, occurring already. So you put that down as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow.
And yeah, we're getting there to close to time. So number three was the celebration, getting ready to celebrate. You remember when you were, a teenager and you were going to go out with your friends and enjoy yourself? You get your
Oh
lips
yeah.
together, you get your face together, you got a wonderful dress ready, you might be getting your hair done. Get yourself ready like that to celebrate. No, it's coming. No, it's happening. Don't wait until. And you're like, "Well, I don't know if I should really go anywhere." No, get yourself ready and get a girlfriend of yours. I want that love excitement like you. Don't get a downer who is like, no, get somebody who love to have a good time. I got a couple of friends like that. If something great happened, I can pick up the phone and you bet you we're screaming like nobody's business. The phone need to be on speaker because we're just screaming, right? We are screaming to celebrate. We're celebrating. When my friend bought her first house, she said, Karen, take the phone from your ears, put it on speaker. I got something to tell you. We screamed the truth. She got her house. We screamed the truth. That's how we celebrated. Then once we finished screaming, we're like, where are we going? What are we gonna do? We gonna leave for Friday night, or are we gonna do this Saturday night? Where we're going? Husbands, don't, you're not coming. We're going to have a really good time.
Oh, right. That implies something else, but that's okay.
But
Don't take offense, Al. Don't take offense. Okay. We love husbands. That's all good.
but
Okay.
celebrations, it's a girls thing, okay? A whole bunch of girls going out, and we're just gonna have a really good time because we really want to have a good time. All right. No, we're not doing anything. We just want to have a good time. We just want to have a good time. So getting ready for the celebration that you have spent the time setting up what it is you want in this life. What is it you want to do with your money, your finances? And you work on your mindset, you work on your money, you have things laid out. And your job is now that the plan is ready, the goal is set, is to work into these things. The reason I get so excited about numbers and money, it doesn't lie. It doesn't lie. Every time you add it up, it doesn't lie. If it says you're paying 124 cents, $24.10 for something, that's what you're paying. Every penny. The reason bank works and love themselves so much, and we should ourselves, is that we like to say, oh, that thing is $40 when it was really $36.99. It is $36.99. Don't say it's $40. That's the other thing. When you're writing your budget, if something is $36.99, put $36.99. And I want you to do this. If you like to say it's $40 or $60, put that same number you like to put the whole number at the side, and then add the real numbers, and you'll see the difference. You'll really understand where your money goes. Don't go knocking those pennies away. Make sure you're checking it exactly as the bill says. Make sure if your grocery bill says this plus the tax on it and what change you receive, make sure you put the total. Don't round it off. No. Make sure you put the exact number. That's how you know that you're functioning on a true budget versus a make-believe budget. Don't go round numbers off because that's more money.
Well, Al says here, being in the black and accounting means positive for Shannon Griffin. Yes, we all want to be in the black when it comes to money. And then he's got these hashtags. But Britta says here, I'm great at saving for a goal, like to see the pot of savings. So she likes to watch it grow.
Yeah.
That's good. Not saving now, though, just paying. Well, we declare that you will be saving today. Even if it's 50 cents.
Yes. I'm a firm believer in. That's why I set a budget with 3 sections, where the section where you get all excited of what's going to happen, and I like to set it up in the fixed and the flexible, and then the debt section there, because debt, you're going to want to pay off your debt for sure. But I don't want people to be in the space where they are feeling so poorly about themselves once they do all of that the next month is such a struggle to do again. And the next month is such a struggle to do again. And that's why we sit down and get all those things out of the way. That's why we talk about all the guilt and all the feelings and all those mind lies that happen, so that people know the stuff we're working on is really going to truly get them to where they want to be, and understand the plan in getting you to make more money if that's what needs to happen to really solve the problem that you're facing. Because I don't want anybody to feel like you can't do certain things. I remember when I set a budget with a friend of mine, we went to college together, and we worked at the same place right out of college together, and I'd come up, I said, we can only afford $10 a month. And she said, $10 a week. And she said, what are you talking about? I said, well, your budget is $10 a week. That's all you get. You buy coffee one day for $10, you're done. Okay. And we were serious. Like, we did that for a straight 6 months because there's things we wanted to pay off and pay down. So we knew that. And most times we will still have change at the end of the week because we were budgeted $10 and it didn't matter what happened. We did
Mhm.
never spend. Matter of fact, Anna and I never went over $10 for the week. We never went over because everything else was budgeted. Everything else was accounted for. Our savings, our invest, whatever we wanted to do. We were only saving at the time. We weren't doing any investments. We were only saving because work was doing that for us. So we were only strictly figuring on saving because our savings were towards getting our emergency funds right because we are just out of college. We got loans we needed to pay off. So we were very strict, really, really restricted, if you will, on that $10. So anything we wanted to do was the $10. And if we needed $40, we had to save that $10 every week until we get to the end of the month. And then we got a $40 if that's what we need, and we could go splurge on the $40. And much we ain't getting with that, but yeah. But it kept us, it really kept us on the straight and narrow. There are things we wanted to buy. We wanted to buy, each of us wanted to buy a car, and we didn't want to have that big monthly payment. So all those things
Mhm.
we were saving towards because we had student loan and we were diligent. I was a budgeting queen, and that's what I did. When people aren't paying me yet, I did that for a lot of people at work because she told a lot of people, and everybody was like, Karen, here's my paycheck, help me. I'm like, no, you're not. Sit down and talk about it. But most people wanted to really, most of us was college student that just graduated anyway in the workforce. And even the older people who wasn't on budget, like once the conversation started getting spread in the workplace, a lot of people came on board and just wanted to be able to, they hated budgeting. But I guess how I explained it made them see that it made sense to.
Because it's a happiness
Yes,
plan. We need to plan the vacation first. I like that.
yes. Even if all you can do is a staycation, I remember I'd said that a while back. Even if all you can do is a staycation, you can
Hmm.
still, budget for a staycation because honestly, you can do a staycation very reasonably. You really can if you can't
Let me
find.
ask you this. Okay, most of the time when you're taking a vacation, it's the transportation that costs the most.
Yes.
So if you're doing a staycation, maybe what you could do is just save for the hotel
Yep.
in the local area.
The local area, and then you can make sure that that time of the year there's a lot of free stuff that's happening. Like in Toronto here, there's a lot of free stuff, in the summer, and you go make sure you check on all of them. So different ethnicity have different things happening. The Spanish,
Festivals.
tons of festivals, and all you have to do is bring a little change so you can buy the foods. But the scenery and everything, you walk in your camera, you take out pictures, you stop and talk to people. Friends of mine always say, "Karen, what's wrong with you?" I'm like, yeah, stop and talk to people, have conversation with them. Say, is it okay if I take a picture with you? Is it okay for you? People will say yes. People will dance with you. I had my picture taken. Me and the guy just dance around on the road, and I get my friend to take a picture. I didn't went anywhere. It's right here in Toronto.
Exactly.
And you could have a really good time. You could say, I am taking from Tuesday to Thursday off for the vacation. Don't take it on a weekend. That's the other thing. You can get a hotel cheaper. You can get a bread and breakfast cheaper. So just look around and search. And then but if you budget and you understand what you're doing, you're going to have a little bit of money. It's going to stretch you and still give you joy.
Mm, I love it. I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes, yes.
Keeping the joy in your budget.
Mm-hmm. For
Hmm.
sure. You want it there because if not, you're not going to want to do it. You're going to see it as this thing that's taken over your life and you can't have fun. We all want to have fun. I don't care how quiet you
Hmm.
are. You might be as bubbly and going as I am, but you still want to have that joy and that happiness happening. And whatever that is for you, you need to find a way. You need to really schedule that in your budget because it don't cost you some dollars, but you want to know that you can do it, and you don't want to feel guilty also when you finish spending it. So you want to be able to set it up in such a way that if all you can for vacation is $200, then you're going to find places to go that it's going to cost you actually less than $200. Because I always tell people, when I go on vacation, I love to know I come back with money. When I come back with, a couple hundred US dollars in my purse, I feel good. I put it back in the US account. I like that. That's just me. I like it. I feel happy.
I can remember things like we never took a lot of family vacations per
Mhm.
se. Um, but I can remember indoor picnics. I can remember going to the park and hiking
Right.
and doing different things in my community, places we can take the bus to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
I agree. Look around. You can always find joy
Yes.
very close to where you are because you're carrying it in your heart anyway.
Anyway, and you want that because that will make you keep going. That will help you to stay and get to where you want to be. We all, striving to get to somewhere, and this is just part
Hmm.
of how we do it, the financial part of it and the mindset part of it. I hope I brought to you today something for you to think about in your budget and figure out how you're going to do this. So for the whole year, if you plan it again, each month you plan it for the whole year, and you're really taking away your habit. You're really taking your habits, your receipts, the way you have lived last year, and you want to improve on it this year. And so you're gonna see your patterns, you're gonna see who you are and what you do, and you take all that stuff and you turn it into your budget, which Carolina loved to call happiness plan.
Happiness
It can make you
plan.
happy, it can bring joy to your heart. It's not a punishment. It's not a punishment. Let me just say that. It's not a punishment. Okay? It's just you getting yourself and your family where you need to be. So you'll be at ease. I know if you're in deep debt right now and you're listening to this, you're like, how am I gonna get out of that kind? I want that feeling, but how am I gonna do it? It's a little bit of
Hmm.
sacrifice. It's a little bit of discipline. There's a big discipline. It's a really big discipline. And that discipline is what we don't like. We don't like it. So we fight that discipline. That's why
Hmm.
we want to do it. It's a discipline. Yeah, and disciplines are boring to most. If you don't like numbers like me, that's another thing that you got to really be upset with. But as I said before, don't round numbers off. If something costs 36.99, 36.97, that's what number you're putting down, and that's the number you're adding up. Don't round it off. Just round it
Hmm.
off, it's taking away more money from your budget, so it seems like you don't have enough when truly you probably do have
Wow. Okay, guys, you heard from our money mindset coach, Coach Caren Fern. She says we truly have it. We just need to go discover it.
enough. Yep.
And we can always ask him for more. So,
Yes.
guys, don't be afraid to ask for more. But if you don't know the number, which she told us again at the beginning of this, which is why we're writing down the numbers, then we don't know what to ask for.
Right.
Okay, so with that, we want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Caren, do you have any things you want to share with the audience? Let them know where you're going to be. You have some new programs coming up. What's going on?
Programs coming up, but if this is interesting to you about your budget, you can definitely go find me on Island Girl Hustle on Facebook. You can book a free 30-minute session so we can talk about it. And if you want to sit down with me with your budget, that's a service I offer too. So that'd be the time to talk about that. Alrighty, guys. Or you can join my Facebook group, Island Girl. So we talk about all things business. I know I didn't touch into the business people and just had a little tiny bit about that, but we got all January. So I'm always talking about that. And I realize and I recognize that a lot of people online is still in jobs. So I always want to make sure that I'm touching
That's
on it
true.
so that they're not left out. Even though they might be thinking of starting a business or in a side hustle, I want them to know that I'm still looking out for them and understand they need to work if they need to work.
Well, not only that, they may have spouses who are still in the workplace
Mm-hmm.
and they're trying to merge their business budget and their spouse's personal budget. Um, so yeah, there are a lot of combinations. I agree, guys. If you're looking for Karen, you can find her anywhere on the web under Island Girl Hustle. I remember she's offering you because you watch this program a 30-minute free consultation to talk about your budget. So
Mm-hmm.
you might want to take advantage of that. In the meantime, we want to remind everybody that tomorrow is Thursday and we'll be talking happy, healthy habits with Robin Shaniza and friends. We encourage you to tune in. Guys, have a great day. We always like to give you some change. So with that, we want to say, don't forget to go to the front of your own line. Bye bye.
Bye bye.